Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to show you through my new bullet journal. You may have seen in my last video that I decided to start a new bullet journal because I was feeling disenchanted and not at all in love with my previous one, even though it was only halfway, or not even halfway, completed. So check out that video down below if you want to know why and how and what I plan to do with the old notebook. But otherwise, stay tuned for a little flip through of what I've done in here so far. And this will also be like a show and tell of my February setup. This is another Leuchtturm notebook, and this is the color Azure or Azure. I know I've heard people pronounce it both ways. Anyway, it's blue. It's a lovely blue. I really like this one a lot. I wanted to get a navy one, but they didn't have any available in store. So just moving past the contact information, this is my index page so far. What I've decided to do in this is use upper and lowercase lettering, alternating it depending on what I'm logging. So my future log is in all capitals because that's really important. Same with my goals. That's something that I want to be able to spot easily, but the other things are often just in lowercase as well. And then for each month, they will be super bold so that they're easy to spot. My key is very simple, super minimal. I've just got all my signifiers that I use down here, a really simple header, and I always like to put height and width of the book at the beginning as well because I can somehow never remember that it's 38 squares by 26. Over here we have my 2017 year overview. I like to look at this because I like being able to see week numbers and, you know, figure out the day of the week, the date and everything. So yeah, that's something that I always just like to keep in here. I have a spot for favorite moments, so I will do like doodles or write things down whenever something happens that I really enjoy. And now we're on to the future log. And so this is super simple and basic, but I like it a lot. I've broken it up into 6 months along here with vertical spaces for each month. So I have a little overview calendar kind of view here, and then each date with whatever is happening on it underneath. Down the bottom, what I've done is there's some space, and I was going to use it just for like notes or something, but what I decided to do was to do like a really quick overview of the second half of 2017. There is stuff happening in the second half of the year that I definitely want to keep in mind. So I've put those dates and everything down here, and I'll just add to them as soon as anything else comes up. And that way, when the first 6 months is over, if I'm still in this notebook, then I can make another future log relating to that, or if I'm, you know, moving into a new notebook by then I can just transfer everything into that. So I didn't want to do a full year just in case this notebook only lasts like 6 months or so. So for my goals, what I've decided to do in this notebook is write down the different goals that I have over here. I worked out what goals I wanted to have this year by doing, can't remember her name, I think it's Lisa Jacobs, but she does like a yearly overview type thing at the end of each year, and she has 7 days of questions and things that you can do to kind of work out what you want for the next year and what your goals are and all of that stuff. I will leave a link down below to that. And what she did was had like her main goals. Once she'd figured them out, she wrote them down. And then next to that, she kind of just wrote down a big brain dump of all the different kinds of steps that she would need to take to reach these different goals. And then that big action step brain dump is broken down into what can be done in 3 months. So what of those tasks can I do in the next 3 months? So I've broken them down. And then I'm also going to be breaking the goals down into a 1 month task list as well. So taking any tasks from this big 3 month list and putting them in my 1 month task list, just to kind of clearly see in my head what I can do in the very immediate future, slightly longer future, and then what needs to be done later on. Over the page, I have a savings and debt tracker. This is just like one that Cara from Boho Berry used at one point or another. I don't know if she still does, but I've seen that around anyway. This is my books to read list. And this is the 30 books to read in 2017 list. So I'm just writing things down as I read them. This is my graduate diploma overview, which is slightly different to the last notebook. I wanted to condense the information a little bit more. But I think what I might do is actually put some like lines underneath each course just to define it a little bit more, because I feel like it just looks a little bit hard to distinguish. That's finished over that page. Some notes from my dad's website. I wanted to condense down the For the Flat page and then also a little brain dump, because I used to have this stuff on one page and this stuff on another page, but there was just so much space that I really didn't need that much space. I've also got a cleaning schedule over here. Oh my gosh, when I was like writing this out, I had so many brain fart moments because I had to like white out so much of that stuff. Anyway, I've also left a space because I'm probably going to put my cleaning tracker over here as well, or make a different one from what I used in my previous bullet journal. I'm not sure yet. This is a little thing that my fiance made for me, so I've stuck it in here. It nice and safe. It's got a cute little note on the other side. Okay, so this is my activity for February 2017, so the workouts and stuff that I want to do. I've also put the outline for my current course in, so these are the different sections of content that I have to read through and do and stuff. Each subsection is a square that I colour in, and then there are different tasks sometimes that I have to do within each subsection, so I just put them as a task and cross them off as I do them. And I also have a space here for a brain dump, so this is just a study brain dump, anything related to either this course or study in general, just any kind of notes that I need to put down and stuff. Over the page I have a modified daily routine. I've chunked the time into 20-minute blocks instead of half an hour ones, because I think 20 minutes is often just a slightly more manageable seeming amount of time, but also a more realistic time chunk for me, so that's why I've done that. Thus I've needed a little bit more space, and also I have a little space here for any notes that I want to make about this. So is there anything I want to change? Is there any time slots that are not working? Anything like that. I have a blank space here because I wanted to do a double spread for my 4 A's of stress relief. I have copied that into this new one as well, because I definitely want this to be able to come with me wherever I am. And I managed to condense it into one 2-page spread instead of having to overflow onto the next page. And then over here I just have an assets list, which is just different things that make me happy. So if I'm feeling stressed or anxious or anything, I can go through this list, and one, it can kind of remind me of all the things that I really like, but two, it also has ideas for ways to relieve stress and stuff. So I've just kind of put stress relief ideas on this list as well, rather than having a separate list for them. And now we are going to move on to my February setup. This is a very similar kind of design to my January setup in my previous bullet journal, which I will link that video down below as well. I really like this monthly log view, so I'm going to try and use it a lot more than I have done in the past, because I'm not going to do a proper weekly overview of different tasks and stuff. I'm just going to put everything in my monthly log and refer to that as much as possible. As always, I have a space to put goals, notes, and I track my bills as well. And then over the page I have Feb gratitude, so that's always something that I really like to have in my monthly setups, as well as my tracker. And then I have a space to do a review at the end of the month. So for my first week in February, this is what my weekly overview is kind of going to be looking like. I'm at least going to try it out anyway and see what it's like. So I have a space to do self-care tracking for mood, activity, diet, sleep, etc. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to be using coloured markers or just pen signifiers, so I haven't filled that in yet. Activity, cleaning schedule, the hours I do, analytics related to Instagram posts I want to do, what my YouTube video will be, and what my study plan will be. The thing that is missing from this is a schedule of different appointments and tasks and stuff that are coming up for the week, mainly because I want to try and utilize this a lot more, so I will put all of those tasks on here and just refer back to this when I need to add in an appointment or whatever on my daily. The other thing that's missing is a space for notes and stuff. I'm just going to try and use the monthly notes so that the space is not wasted. And that's all I've got so far. I'm already feeling a lot happier about it. It just feels less disjointed and more simple and easy to maintain. As I said in my previous video, I will still be showing you what's going on in this bullet journal. Obviously, I'll be doing my monthly setups, and my plan is to kind of go back and do at the end of the month or at the beginning of the next month, do like a flip through of weekly setups and stuff, because at the moment my weekly setups are generally pretty much the same, although this is different, but for the most part everything's been quite the same for a long time, so it gets a little bit boring for you guys if I'm just doing a weekly plan with me that's pretty much the same thing every single week. So I thought I would do less of those videos and more tip videos and just general kind of information and stuff, and experimenting in my old bullet journal because I have all that space in there. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you don't think I'm too nuts for making a new bullet journal. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. If you have any requests or suggestions for content, stuff that you want to see in a bullet journal, things that, like, you know, if you like, how can you use your bullet journal for recipes or something, just let me know, and that gives me really cool ideas and stuff to think about and like work on. So, and that may have been a hint, by the way. Alright guys, I will see you again really soon. Have a great day. Bye.